What up, peeps?
Howdy.
Joanna's like, yeah. How powerful is your narrative? What is a narrative?
Well, I can answer how powerful a narrative is because it is so powerful that even as an adult, we operate off of a story we've, in a sense, concocted as a child.
Created. And it's one that you have built up over a long period of time, right? Remember, I think we talked about this, like how beliefs get formed.
We wrote a post about it.
Yeah. And starts with a germ called germ warfare. It starts with a germ, and something happens, an event, someone says something, and from that point, your brain starts to scan its surroundings to see, is this true? Is this false? Is this true? Experientially.
Tries to make sense of the experience, and usually it's not a good one because it's not, like, that's why your brain won't rest about it. It's like...
Well, I mean, I'm just talking about beliefs in general. So, like, any belief, you know, you validate the belief based on, is it, you know, something that comes up over and over. Oh, so-and-so said that. Well, okay, well, that's one more check. I saw that somewhere else. Oh, okay, one more check. Oh, they said something different, so maybe I better just, like, put that one in the background just to see if something else comes up. So, I mean, it's happening every day, all the time. Subconsciously, beliefs are being formed or being rejected. And as an adult, I mean, they're probably not quite as life-changing, like the foundational. You know, they're like little beliefs, like, oh, I believe that my kid is in trouble. Why? Because I hear something, and, you know, I mean, you just start, like, building off of those things, and those are, like, little beliefs that, you know, as an adult, but as a child, they're, like, the rock-solid foundational things that, like, set the whole tenor.
And maybe as an adult, you would say, you're not forming them, but you're confirming them all the time. Like,
well, like on those, from those childhood beliefs as an adult, and that's what we're going to get into today, this hour, this moment.
There's that tricky word again. We can never get it right.
that we're going to talk about in what we mean by narratives. So narratives are the things that we have, right? They're the things that we have over time built up inside, some of them subconscious. Like, here's one common for me. I just don't think I'm going to be able to do that because I feel like I always, every time I, like, try, I always, like, seem to don't get anywhere, and I'm always, like, the only one that's trying to do this, or I'm like, I don't have any help. Nobody's like helping me to do this. So I'm just like, I'm not gonna do well at this. I'm not gonna get it. Those are narratives. Those are beliefs that have, like, you know, wormed its way into my, even, you know, to my psyche, if you want to put it that way, like wormed its way into my heart, really, and is wreaking havoc in there because, you know, I'm listening to it. Even though it's not an audible thing, even though I'm not even aware of it sometimes, I'm listening to it.
And it disables you. Like, it's very similar to one of mine that I have been working and I've been being coached through recently, is anything I try to do blows up in my face. And my coach was kind of laughing at me by the end of one session, not in an unkind way, but, like, as we were working through this, like, okay, you are married, you have 5 kids, you are a coach, like, how is that things blowing up in your face? But that's a narrative that has just been in my heart and mind.
But it's amazing how much we really believe those things, like how much they really affect our life. I mean, so much so that you get to the end of the day and you realize, like, I know I should be doing that. I know I should have done that. I should have done that. I should have done that. I should have. But it's always shoulda. It's always shoulda, coulda, woulda. You know, I mean, it's never. I did.
Or always, it always did this, or it always does that.
Yeah.
Which, I can't remember which person said this, but always and never are trigger words, which means you're in a triggered state. So that also can apply maybe to, so when you have those statements in your head, you can know that that is a false narrative that's like going off because you're in a triggered state, maybe.
Yeah, so that's really good. So key identify, like step number 1, identify. Am I believing a narrative, and is that narrative true or not?
Yeah.
Like, line it up with what you know to be true. Like, even
this is logic. You're actually going to get a little bit of logic working here. It's all not just emotions.
Even scripturally, right? I mean,
Yes.
line it up with what Jesus says.
Right.
Test it and see if it's true.
So many of our narratives really don't add up. Like, that's why me and my coach were laughing about my narrative, because it's like, if you really look at it, that's not true. But it's just little things. Like, for me, it's like I try something new with the kids and it doesn't work. So there that
I'm a
go.
bad mother again.
No, I just, everything I do blows up in my face because I tried something new and they didn't like it, which is really silly because kids take time to adjust to things like that, you know.
Right. So step number 1, identify. See, like, what am I actually, you know, if I'm kind of, I don't know, if I feel stuck, or if I catch myself saying things like never, always, or, oh, I'm just, you know, I mean, identify.
What is the root? What's the story behind it? And this is another,
no, go ahead. I was just going to say, start digging down into, like, when did I first start? When did I first start believing that?
What is this story really about?
What does it remind me of?
And this is also another really helpful thing in conflict with each other, or like if you're having trouble communicating with each other as a couple, you can say, the story I'm hearing is this. That way,
that's really good.
That, I can't remember who said that.
Well, it diffuses the part of it is it helps diffuse the actual attack, you know, the intentional part of it.
Right. It's not saying this is what you're saying, or this is what you're saying to me, like, or this is what you're doing. It's taking responsibility that this is the way I'm hearing it because of my brain and my story. That's the story I'm hearing. Yeah. Instead of you're doing this, you're doing that.
Try it. I think it'll help.
It does. I promise.
What other identify, get down, like, start working into, like, finding out the root cause. When did I first start? And then
I think that's a good amount for this time.
Okay. Yeah, I was just gonna say, just bring Jesus into it.
Yeah.
And just say, okay, Jesus, you speak your truth into my heart.
I will say that for me, being able to catch myself and call myself out on that, like,
in the stage,
I'm starting to believe this. Is that true? No. Even if I'm feeling like it's true, realizing that that's a feeling, but that doesn't mean that story is really true. It's just a story.
And may I add one more teeny
PPS.
PPS. Speak the truth out loud to yourself. Speak it to your heart. Even if you say something like, heart, I know this is the way you feel, and I accept that. That's the way
I know
why you feel that, and it's understandable. So give it a little bit of understanding there. But this is what Jesus is saying, and I just want you to know that I will be with you in the process as you relearn the way Jesus. You know, I mean, you're a person, and speak to yourself like that. I don't know, maybe it sounds weird, but it actually is amazing how much speaking it out loud is going to remember we talked about those beliefs and constantly scanning to see reinforcement or rejection. Like, your voice is very powerful as you speak to your heart, and how it's going to affect changing the beliefs that you have into the beliefs that you really know you want to have.
And it even affects your physical neural pathways. Like
Right.
it gives hiccups and
Right.
like stops when you speak something different out loud.
Let us know what you think, how you feel. Let us know also, is this the kind of thing you want to keep on hearing about? If not, what is it you want to hear about? But at the same time, unless you tell us, we're going to keep on sharing our story. Ta-ta for now.
Bye.